it's Ellie Colton here for A&R Factory, and I am joined by the fabulous Dom Malin. He's a singer-songwriter and musician from the Midlands, and his biggest track today, Eye of the Storm, is out right now. He's got 1.5k devoted Spotify listeners, and his Christmas cracker of a tune, Winter's Home, did so well that BBC Music introducing Lincolnshire had it not only as their tune of the week, but invited him to come and do a whole radio set off the back of it. So hello to the talent, Dom Malin. How are you?
Hey Ellie, good morning. Yeah, I'm very well, thank you. Well, what a lovely introduction. Yeah, kind of, very, it's incredible when you kind of sometimes list those achievements off, and you kind of sit there and go, goodness, that's quite cool. You never quite kind of fully realise it. So thank you. Yeah, it's very sweet.
Oh, no problem at all. Well, it's not hard. The facts are there. I just want to know, what is it like? Did you expect Winter's Home to get that kind of reaction?
It was a last minute thing. I love Christmas, and I really want to put like an EP. I used to write Christmas songs for a charity album for a friend of mine for Mind Charity, and we'd raise money and kind of send it to them over the Christmas period. And it's just been sat with me for a while. And I was like, okay, this is the year. I've really started to put out records and singles. I really feel that it'd be a nice way to end and celebrate. And it was very unexpected. I sent it in, and it came through a couple of days later, and it's like your track of the week, and it kind of just built. I think there's this momentum that started just to kind of snowball after Eye of the Storm, because that was Song of the Week too, and I think it was just a really nice way to celebrate and enjoy the Christmas break, because for me it really is just a shutdown period, and just relax and chill and kind of recharge. So it was wicked. Yeah, proper cool.
And I'm just being observant here. Is that a poster of yourself on your wall? Talk me through that. Is that a picture of you and someone else, or is it a double?
This is back many years ago. This is around about 2008, where I did my first show in Lichfield at Lichfield Garrick. A solo performance I did actually through the BBC. It was a bit of like a competition, and I'd kind of got through to the finals and stuff, and won that as a kind of prize. But so it's a friend of mine back in that time around college took it, and the kind of alternating pants colour and top colour. So it's a nice way to remind me where I kind of started and where the love of music kind of began, and performance and writing and entertaining.
Have you got a bit of a Bieber cut there as well? It looks like a bit of a
style.
I
don't know what my styling was. I remember the day. It was an awful day. It was pouring. It's thunderstorm. So my hair was just appalling. So it's kind of just all over the place. It's kind of Bieber / messy.
I love that though. Don't put yourself down too much. You look fine from what I can see. So you mentioned it just then, Eye of the Storm. Tell me about that track. It's currently sat on a nice 5.5k Spotify listens. I know it's got even more views on YouTube. But the artwork for that, you've kind of got like an elongated neck. So did it hurt to pose for that? Or is there a bit of image trickery going on?
No, I just randomly got a very thin kind of long neck, I think. But it was great. So I kind of I'd gone to various imageries for that, and it was a last minute change, because it was like I did probably like drawed you in, or got you kind of asking questions, or kind of talking about it. So but I think I just like the kind of honesty to it, and I think that it just kind of almost. It was crazy. It was just taken on a blank wall on my bed. Camera was on like a little tripod, and then it was just kind of one of those moments where you just take something and it just seemed to work. And I had this imagery like double exposure, and use like the waves and the kind of oceans, because I very much like talking about nature in songs. I think it's a nice way to talk about contrast and really kind of add energy and kind of
Definitely.
Right. So it wasn't necessarily elongated. It was just very much because I didn't have a top on at the time. I think kind of my style a bit more.
No, it honestly, it looked so cool, so brilliant. That's why I just thought I'd ask, because you've obviously got the creative vibes, and even in the music video for that, so you're surrounded by fairy lights. You kind of set up against a wall. So with you, like ambience and creating that atmosphere must be a big thing for you, right?
Yeah, definitely. I think I really love the arts, and I think it's a celebration of bringing them all together as best you can in the artwork, in the videography, in the music, and the lyrics, and that excites me. And I think it's a wonderful way when you can kind of bring those together, almost like a marriage. And initially I always kind of had that idea for that song, and I was very lucky enough for my uncle to be renovating at his home, so it was quite empty. It's freezing, but it was very pleasant with the lights.
Mm.
And I think it just kind of I don't feel like it needed much. I think you just needed that one singular kind of view of someone really just reflecting and as you might do at the end point of something that's maybe been close to your heart or means something.
Yeah, well, I think sometimes simplistic and, quiet and ambient kind of music videos just do the trick. There's no point sexing it up for no reason now, is there, Dominic?
No.
Well, during lockdown, you've kept the tempo up, you've kept the demand there for your music. A few days ago, you did an Insta Live with Luna Keller, so tell me all about that.
I did. I think really this year is for me about kind of collaborating and getting to kind of really mix with up and coming artists and just having fun with it. I think I've always wrote myself and wrote from honesty and perspective and experience, and it's a really nice way to kind of share, what I've learned, I guess, over the years with upcoming younger kind of performers, but also people around kind of where I'm at, and kind of enjoying it. It's a different experience, but it's a really nice way to kind of start the year. I really want to get into doing a bit more live performances, and it's nice to kind of share that with other people in social circles. So yeah, it's very nice. You sent the invite, and I was like, oh cool, let's give it a go. And so yeah, it's a nice one. I think just it's enjoyable to show a different side. It's great to perform, but I really like to kind of see an artist in their own environment and just talking as we all are. We can sometimes put them on a pedestal and be like, oh my goodness, they're like, who are these people? And they're just really just down to earth, kind of genuine people. And I kind of like that. So yeah, it was really good. It was fun. We played for like an hour, and the time flew by. So
yeah. Have you got any more sort of collaboration ideas in the works? You say it's an exciting thing to do. Have you got any other artists on your mind that you might think, do you know what, I want to reach out to them this year because it would work?
I think I really love the concept of really coming together with like a female vocalist, and there's a chance for either Storm that there could be like a second version or alternative kind of single or acoustic kind of rendition of it with the perspective of both sides, the male and female, in terms of feelings, emotions, which would work very nice. But really, I guess for now, that is on the agenda, and there are some individuals that I want to try to reach out to. But I think for me, it's just I'm working towards this part 1, part 2 EP, and part 2 is like a counterpart, and it's this kind of this narrative and whole story of various chapters and feelings and emotions through a particular relationship, and a one that's kind of spanned over a few years, and the aftermath and the kind of emotions that you go through and the questions that you ask, and then the kind of you just trying to overcome them and feel better. So that's where my focus is for the first part of this year. Part 1 roughly coming out around about, well, actually it should be about mid-March for definite, no later than November for part 2. And it's really nice because it ticks off a period of my life that in a way took me away from music, but actually it's kind of brought me back into establishing myself.
So spill the beans then. Is a lot of what you write based off personal experience as you sip your stew?
Take a moment to kind of digest it. But it's pretty much, I think it's one thing that probably lockdown has been fantastic for me in certain ways, where I can bring stuff together and realise how I want to plan it out as a timeline. But obviously it's been less inspirational for me because I didn't realise until this period that I write, as I said, from truth and experience and exposure and perspective. And when you're immersed in the world and situations and groups, and you really have something to talk about. So there isn't anything that I say or write that hasn't happened or I've been a part of or witnessed or felt. And I think it's just my style, my approach, I guess. And I really like that way that you know, when you sing a song or you perform a song, that the audience are with you and they're with that journey and they're feeling the emotions and they're happy.
Yes, yes.
And you know, they come through it as, and you've been on that as one, as a group, and you know, you find answers, you feel better, you cry, you, like you say, you laugh, and
The emotion.
you
You're
leave. Yeah,
invested.
you know, you can be vulnerable, and it's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to kind of you know, let that out, you know, and talk about that with people, or to listen to. Yeah.
Yeah, of course, 100%. And I think that's like your allure as an artist, of how well you sort of make that connection with an artist. But you sound like you've got it down. So on that front, you know, brilliant. You kind of touched on it just then, as you've been such a brilliant person to chat to, because you just laid it all out for me. But in terms of what is coming up in 2021, so you've spoken about that 2-part EP, but have you got anything else in the works, like maybe a music video? Have you got anything else written?
Yeah, definitely. I always want to kind of build on everything that I've done previously, and I really like that kind of movement. It's probably, you know, I remember back in university, I kind of went quite early, and I was surrounded by like 24-year-old and 30-year-olds, and they was writing great music, and I thought, oh my goodness, how am I going to kind of compete, or not necessarily compete, but how can I write as good as them?
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, in my dormant and kind of write tracks and kind of establish what my style was. And so I always think, like, what's the last song you're doing? What do you deem as this kind of great song, and how can you improve it, or how can you take it further? And so now bringing in the media parts to that, I definitely want to do some more videos. I love the way the Lumineers on their album 3 did like these chapters and these little kind of short stories. And I think with this part 1, part 2, there's a lot in terms of video content that can kind of further emphasize the message of the song and the narrative of the story. So there's definitely several singles. Some of those will be off part 2.
Exciting stuff.
Standalone. Yeah, it is. Yeah, I'm kind of all organising it now. Like, kind of trying to get a set in the studio.
You're like ding 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 ding.
Yeah,
everything
but
going off.
I wouldn't want it any other way. It's pretty exciting, actually. But yeah, so several singles, and alongside of those will be, you know, an extension of like video content, and just kind of branching out a bit more, having more of like actors, or just bringing. I haven't necessarily kind of thought of how the narratives when I get to the kind of single. I know what the singles are, but I think, like I say, I just want to see how it all fits together.
Yeah, well, you've sold it to me. So you've got one extra fan, so that's good. Where can people find you on social media? How can they stream your music? What are your handles?
Yeah, so I'm quite lucky, actually. That really is simply just Dom Malin. It's Dom Malin on Facebook and Instagram and Spotify. So generally on all major platforms, you know, iTunes, Apple Music. So whatever is your preference, whatever is your style, SoundCloud, you'll definitely find me from Dom Malin, DOMMALIN. And yeah, it'd be fabulous to have you there with me this journey, because, you know, I'm definitely I love kind of not only sharing it with, but being very appreciative, because I understand, you know, it takes, you know, it's very much like John Lennon said, you know, do you need 2 people to dream the same dream for it to be a reality? And it feels like the audience and my people, that my fans that say are kind of dreaming it with me, and they're kind of, I want to kind of celebrate it with them in these different milestones. So yeah.
So you might look at me and think that'll go over my head, but I actually bought that vinyl, John Lennon's vinyl that just came out. So she's a fan. Dom, thank you so much for chatting to me this morning. I wish you all the best with 2021. I can't wait to see what's coming for you. And thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks to everyone that's listened. Appreciate it. And yeah, enjoy your day too. Have a fantastic week.